It's time for another episode of The Oil Stream with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola, presented by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Oil Stream. Nielsen and Gazzola with you. Thank you to everybody who joined us at Boston Pizza here tonight. We appreciate that. Nice little crowd.
All
That's
right.
good. It's good to see everybody. Actually, this is the Northgate location, and the internet allows us to stream live right now as well. So if you are watching on X or YouTube right now, you're missing out because we got a good crowd down here at Boston Pizza for, as many people have been waiting for, a huge bottom six discussion because it's late August and that's what we do.
I can tell Mo's excited.
Yeah, Mo's obviously fired up. The guy lives for bottom six discussions.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got lots to get to on this episode of the Oil Stream. If you are watching live and you want to chime in with any questions, feel free. We'll try to get to a few of those as well.
I've our new inbox up and running.
Oh yeah, let's
right
do that.
now.
Let's
I'm watching this thing.
Yeah.
Eric's been all over it. We've had a crazy day at our new studios. Everything looks good, by the way.
Yeah, it's coming together really nicely.
We've been giving out. This is Northside Adam's sign, his lawn sign. We've been giving these out like crazy today, like hotcakes. So we're using it for the show. And Northside Adam's on his way. He says, "My wife is just on her way back from out of town. Should be around 6:30. He gets here."
If you're sitting here in the lounge and you want to ask us a question about the Oilers, you can do it. All you have to do is text 780-218-9999.
Yeah.
780-218-9999, and we can answer some of those questions as we work our way through this episode. And we think the text line is going to work well for that. So don't be shy. Ask a question, and we'll see what we can get into as well. For those of watching, we are obviously here at Boston Pizza, and we do this once a month, and it's continuing to grow, which is great. So if you can make, I know there's a few people who wanted to make it, but they can't. Barry the Cheater is a regular at this location, and he wasn't committed enough to make it out tonight. So that's
he had to send the message through the staff.
Yeah, I know.
Which I appreciate because he's a regular.
Yeah, but he could have texted 780-218-9999.
What a number.
Which is extremely frustrating.
Yeah.
All right, so like I said, we're getting into a bottom six discussion. As always, the Oil Stream is brought to you by our great partners at Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen, and their black and chicken sandwich is pretty darn delicious. All right, did you get some texts?
Big Uke, who's right over here. How are the wings? We just crushed some wings.
Yeah, we just had some wings. I actually got a couple wings left. The summer menu, the antojitos, it came in. I was all fired up for the antojitos.
Yeah, where's Neil?
But the summer
antojitos.
The summer menu's off now, but they got some good pizzas coming along the way. And he's going to make me a smoked ham and chicken stromboli sandwich, which is an off-menu item that I still love. All right, so let's dive into your Boston Pizza appetizer. And like we said, hit us up. All the Boston Pizza lounges, and we've been making our way through most of them. Let's start with Sam Gagner. We haven't had an episode since Sam Gagner signed his PTO. Not surprising. I guess there's still a chance that he can come to Edmonton, PTO, sign a contract somewhere else, and take off and go do that. Chris Versteeg style, I guess. Remember when Versteeg did that?
Chris Versteeg had an outstanding training camp, and he wasn't as old as Sam.
Yeah, it's a different scenario.
And he wasn't coming off of major surgery, I don't think, either.
So what do you expect from Sam Gagner? I think everybody loves it because we all love Sam Gagner.
Sure.
He's one of the best dudes you're ever going to meet. A veteran presence for the dressing room, but what are you actually expecting from Sam Gagner?
I don't know if he's going to make the team. I don't think so from the outside looking in, and that's
not... You don't think he makes it at all? Mind you, they can only probably play 12 forwards because they're going to be so short on the roster.
And I don't know if he wants to go through a year of bouncing between Edmonton and Bakersfield either. He's got a young family. I know his wife's from here and all of that, but they'll give him a chance, an honest chance, and I think that the path is paved for him to take on a hockey ops role, which, like we said a couple of weeks ago, they offered him a position a few years ago in hockey ops. He wasn't ready to retire. Good for him because he's extended his career, but he's just fighting an uphill battle. He had that surgery that cost him the end of last season, I believe it was, and he's an older guy. So he's a great guy in the room. All the players love him. He's got a good rapport with the guys who've been around for a while, and hockey ops love him. And again, Jeff Jackson coming in as the CEO.
Jeff Jackson has a great relationship with Sam Gagner.
Sam Gagner was his first client when he got into the NHL. So there's going to be Sam Gagner in Oilers colors, whether it's on the ice or in the executive bubble.
Do you think there's a chance he comes in on a PTO, doesn't make the team, retires, and immediately joins the front office?
That's entirely possible. That's entirely possible.
Well, training camp just got extremely intriguing, didn't they?
Yeah.
Let's tie this in inside.
How about player coach like Reg Dunlop? For
That would
Sam
be
Gagner?
that would be good.
Let's go that route.
Yeah, I mean that's how it's going to be if he makes the team. Actually, I mean that's
Kind
how
of,
it's
yeah. They
probably
love
going to
him.
be viewed. Yeah. Let's just tie this into inside the numbers for CoolBet. NHL futures are now up over at CoolBet.com, and stay cool, bet responsibly, but bet all season long with our partners at CoolBet. Just to tie it into Sam Gagner, Sam Gagner over or under 14.5 points with the Edmonton Oilers. Now, he actually has kind of produced a little bit at a lower level the last few years, but
I don't want to be a Debbie Downer tonight, so I'll be on the over side.
Man, he's
just rooting for him.
Somehow he's going to put up 15 points by not making the team, basically, is what you're saying.
Yes.
What's going on here? It doesn't make a lot of sense, but yeah, no, it's good. So Sam Gagner is going to factor into the bottom six. I'm going to take the under 14.5, even if he makes the team. Probably going to play 25 games. He's not going to get 15 points in 25 games, but I wish this was just 6 years ago, Sam Gagner.
So do a lot of people.
So does Sam Gagner. Probably,
yeah, exactly. But he's done very well for himself throughout his career, and he's in a great spot. So we'll see what happens. One last kick at the can for Sam Gagner, I would say.
All right, so that brings us into our bottom six discussion that we are going to have. If you're watching live right now on YouTube or on Twitter, make sure you subscribe to the Oil Stream podcast. Just search Oil Stream on all of your podcasting platforms, and you can give us a sub over there. Whether you're an Oilers fan or you're in the oil and gas industry, we were actually a top 5 podcast in the oil and gas industry.
We have a plaque on our wall in the new studio.
It's weird. It doesn't really understand how that works. So, all right, so we know the Oilers' top 6, Tommy, is going to be kind of locked in. Yeah. I mean, Connor Brown probably in that group with Nuge and Draisaitl, McDavid, Kane, and Hyman. That's how it works. What's the bottom 6 look like? And I guess, is it really just a bottom 6? Because if they're going to run 21 guys, it's probably going to be 7D.
Yes.
And then you're going to just sit there with 12 forwards, and that's it. So, like, if you don't make the top 12 or you don't make the bottom 6, you're not on the team at all. So I've got a list here. I've got a list of candidates. These are the 10 guys that'll be fighting for bottom 6 jobs come training camp in September. Ryan McLeod, Warren Fogle. These guys aren't fighting. I mean, McLeod, Fogle, automatic. Derek Ryan, automatic. Matthias Janmark, automatic. Dylan Holloway, automatic in the bottom 6. So then you're looking at one spot for 5 guys. Raphael Lavo, Sam Gagner, Brandon Sutter, Peterson, and Kajula.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, if they were going to run 14 forwards, then you're looking at 3 or 4 of these guys making the team. But that's not how it's going to work. So
okay, I'll just go to the 2 guys that I think will probably end up being in the dogfight for that last spot. And it's going to be Raphael Lavo and maybe Drake Kajula. And listen, again, I'll reiterate, I'd rather see Sam Gagner in there.
Yeah.
But we'll see what his body is like and how it responds to things in training camp and then in the preseason, because he'll certainly play games. For Lavoie, they're going to give him a million opportunities. They're going to play him a ton. He's going to play almost every single preseason game. They're going to give him a look on the top lines. They're going to put him into bottom 6 roles, and it's make it or break it for Raphael Lavoie this training camp. Just talking to people within the organization, they say there's no middle ground. It's either he's all in and he's going, or you're not seeing him on the ice and you're wondering where this guy is and if he's playing that night. So it's up to Lavoie to have a really good training camp in preseason. And then with Kajula,
do you think just because of his connection
here?
I
don't know if it's the connection, but the fact that he's a young-ish guy and he kind of can be that perfect tweener and be a decent player when he does get minimal minutes and plays in minimal games. I think that might give him a bit of an edge. I don't know where Lane Peterson's at, and Brandon Sutter, to be honest with you, the guy hasn't played in a couple of years. He had long COVID or dealt with all of that stuff.
Hasn't played in a while, yeah.
He's a long shot, I think, but you never know.
Okay, so if we were handicapping this race here, you would have Raphael Lavoie in the front runner spot for that 12th spot, or would it be Drake Kajula? Because if I was looking at it right now, I mean,
they're neck and neck, and it depends how Lavoie's playing.
We know Drake Kajula is suited to be a bottom 6 guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not 100% sure we know Raphael Lavoie is suited to be a bottom 6 guy. I'm also not 100% sure he is a bottom 6 guy.
I don't think he's an NHL.
He could be a classic
right
sort of tweener
Yeah.
right now. I'm not talking tweener NHL, AHL. Well, kind of. Yeah. But a tweener should be in the top 6 on a weaker team, but that's
a flex guy, like Alex Chason was, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you could look at it like that.
Begrudgingly, he was in the top 6.
I guess we would say Lavoie narrowly ahead of Kajula.
Yeah.
is it a neck and neck, nose and nose race?
I think so.
And then Peterson, Gagner, Sutter?
Sure. Yeah.
You think so?
I mean, I almost want to give Sam the upper hand over Peterson, but Lane Peterson's younger and healthier and has played and was okay, I think, at the end of last season. He played games. But he's been in the AHL a lot.
Yeah, he has. He's kind of been back up and down. So if we're looking at, okay, so let's just say one of Raphael Lavo or Drake Caggiula make the bottom six. So then you've got McLeod, Fogle, Ryan, Janmark Holloway, and Raphael Lavo. The X factor in all of this is Dylan Holloway and how he's going to factor in. Who do you play Dylan Holloway with in the bottom six for it to have success? Because right now, I mean, anybody here watching who's an Oilers fan, the bottom six right now is not what it was going into the playoffs
Not
last
at all.
year. There's no Bukestad. I mean, they've lost other pieces. So to me, the bottom six needs to step up or they need to improve it somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe Lavoie does that for them. Maybe Caggiula or Peterson do that for them, whatever. But who does Dylan Holloway play with? Because I know in the playoffs, people are like, man, really liking that McLeod, Fogle, Derek Ryan line.
Yeah.
So then Holloway, Janmark with who? And who's playing center on that line? Janmark's playing the center?
I don't know.
Right? Like it's
maybe they're
a weird
rotating
spot.
one of the big dogs with those guys, which they did when they had to go 11-7. I do think Holloway with McLeod is intriguing. If McLeod's really ready to kind of mature a little bit here.
Okay, so
I like that idea. Young, there's speed, there's skill. They've known each other, being in the organization.
And
for
then
a few years.
who plays with them? Fogle?
Sure. I mean, pick your poison.
Or do you put the veteran Derek Ryan on the right side and you have Holloway play left side?
It could depend on the matchup.
Yeah.
If you're playing a bigger team, maybe you go Janmark. If you're playing a smaller, quicker team, maybe you go Derek Ryan. I think, and Jay Woodcroft does that all the time. It's all matchups, and he goes into the bingo balls with his lines right away. So I think that's something that could change within the game, every single game.
All right, let's get to question 780-218-9999. If you're watching on the live stream and you just want to text as opposed to comment, 780-218-9999. Or if you're here in attendance, you can ask. This is from Jason. Will Carter Savoy get a legit look, or is he 2 years away? What do you think?
I'd lean towards 2 years away.
2 years away
From,
if ever,
like, getting a
or
look?
2 years away from legitimately getting
Well,
a look?
he'd have to have a really good year in Bakersfield. I don't think he's necessarily in their plans right now, but they'll look at him, see where he's at, track his progress. They'll talk to the coaching staff from Bakersfield and get a sense of what type of player is, Savoy is developing into. But I don't think he's one of the guys they're going, geez, he's got a chance this year. We're going to give him a lot of opportunity. I think he's a guy that'll get a few games, and if they determine, he hasn't taken a big enough step forward, they'll just send him to Bakersfield for the start of that training camp. Hopefully not. It'd be good to see him get a good look deep into the preseason, but this is a team that we pretty much know its roster is more or less set outside of like one spot.
Where do you think, as we look at this bottom six situation here, I mean, the answer, I was going to ask the question of, let's say Connor Brown doesn't look great, slide him down to the third line. We got a question about the nudes that we'll get to here in just a second. This guy walked in and is like, what is going on right now?
Hello, sir.
That's okay. Welcome to Boston Pizza Lounge. Thai chicken bites. Delicious. Absolutely love them.
He's not having it.
All right, so if Holloway is able to move up in this situation, like, would you move anybody up before Holloway, I guess is what I'm asking.
Like to the team full time?
To the top six.
To the top six.
Like if Brown doesn't work or if somebody gets hurt, it's got to be an automatic
Dylan
Dylan Holloway to move up, right?
I would think so. I mean, he has to progress too. That's the other thing. We have to remember he's still young. He was still banged up last year. He hasn't played a ton of pro hockey yet, but I think he's a guy that they would lean towards looking at in that type of situation if Connor Brown isn't there. But I think Connor Brown is the penciled-in guy for the top six regardless, Dusty, because he's a veteran. He's got the history with Connor McDavid. Yeah, he's coming off a bad injury last year, but I think he would be the guy that's slotted in there. And then they can move some other pieces around. Fogle could get looks up in the top six again if he's playing like he did in the stretch and down the playoffs.
Fogle looks decent in the top six
At
for
times.
like 4 games.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, he's a
He
bottom six
moonlights.
guy. The same type of thing. Overall, this question comes in. Where's Mike? There's Mike
There's
straight
Mike.
ahead of us here. How does this bottom six look, in your opinion, with the projected 20-man roster at the start of the season? If they go 21-man roster, it's kind of that group of guys that we talked about it. Let's say, a letter grade it. What's this
The bottom six?
Yeah, pretend you're a teacher.
Sure.
and you just had the whole summer off, and now you have to do a letter grade. What would you do?
C+, Mike. C+,
C+?
probably.
Wow.
And they know that it needs to improve, and I think that's a discussion that's happened quite a bit within the offices there with the Oilers, and they know they need another guy in the bottom six, preferably a centerman. And so, it's not a great bottom six, that's for sure.
So
until it proves us otherwise.
I was going to say, who from this group can make that be a B or a B+? Is it McLeod? Like Ryan McLeod has a monster season or something?
He takes a step. Holloway takes a step, and he is in that bottom six and excelling. That can happen. And Janmark has to be solid, doesn't get dinged up. Ryan doesn't look like he's missing a step either, and he continues to keep pace and play a solid, smart game. That would make it, a C+ to a B-, and then people are like, well, that's not too bad, and then you do go after
that is not too bad,
right? It's perception, but it depends on what those guys do. If they're just sitting on the bench and the other Draisaitl, McDavid lines are being rolled out there for 30 minutes a night or 40 minutes of the game, then those guys are going to be ineffective like they were for the first couple months this past season.
All right, here's a question that always pops up when you talk about the bottom six. This is from Hockey Junkie 97 on Twitter. Why is no one talking about RNH being third-line center and then prime minutes on the penalty kill and the power play, and you run 97, 29, and 93 down the middle? It's lethal. That's the question all the time, right?
I'm
you
sure
run
we're going to
three
see
centers.
I think they want Ryan McLeod to take a step, and that would be his third-line center
that
position.
would kind of limit him a little bit,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. But I think we will probably see Nugent Hopkins as the third-line center. Again, maybe for 10 minutes of the start of a game, and then it gets thrown into a blind. It's unbelievable.
I'm just messing
This
around
is how
here
bad it
with
was in the
lines.
playoffs and down the stretch. We jot lines and we watch at morning skate who's where and if there's any wrinkles being thrown in there from Jay Woodcroft. By the time we got to, I think it was game 65, and we're sitting at the arena at 10:30 in the morning, and we're like, it doesn't even matter who's rolling out there for line combinations because we know Jay's going to switch it up right away anyway, and he kept doing it. And finally, it got to the playoffs, and nobody was even telling each other, hey, what are the lines tonight? And I think that's going to be the case all season long. That's just how I feel about it, but 97, 29, 93 down the middle, I think we're going to see it at times this season, for sure.
I'm experimenting here.
Go for
97, 29, 93. Let's say McDavid between Connor Brown and Evander Kane.
That's what I had earlier. Yeah.
Draisaitl with Hyman and Fogle.
Oh.
Nuge with Holloway and somebody else there. That would have been the Yamo thing in years past. Or yes, a complete arbiter. That was that guy. So who's that guy now? Could you play McLeod?
On the
or
wing?
Could you put Nuge down there with McLeod and Holloway?
Yes. And they moved. They had them together at times late in the season last year.
So you could go McLeod in the middle with Nuge on the left side and Holloway over on the right side.
Yeah, whichever guy's winning faceoffs.
You could do that.
Yeah, that we could see.
Do that. Yeah.
What do you got? What?
Tube Socks just keeps sending funny texts in.
Are you sending in pictures? We can take pictures on the inbox now.
There's no pictures. There's no pictures.
Thankfully.
Just yet. All right. As we continue here with the Oil Stream Live at Boston Pizza, let's talk a little bit about is this it now? There's nothing else being added to the Oilers between now and when things
I'd be surprised. Every time I ask what's going on, it's always quiet. There's nothing going on. Everybody knows what's happening. It seems like it's quiet. I'd be surprised if anything happened from now until September 20th when main training camp starts, but you never know. They're always talking to people, too. Ken Holland's always making calls, and they're always interested in cheap players that kind of fell through the cracks a little bit, if you will. But I don't think we're going to see anything. This is one of the, if not the quietest offseason, I don't know, in 25 years for this team.
But that's a good news.
But people want stuff. They want juicy
you're right.
stuff. There's nothing juicy.
I get it. It sucks for fans when the offseason's quiet. It sucks for us who are generating content when the offseason's quiet. But let's be honest. That means you're a Stanley Cup contender. Or you're totally screwed by the cap. This is kind of both. This is kind of both. The Oilers are in the best of both worlds. Stanley Cup contender and screwed by the cap.
Yeah.
So that kind of kills opportunity to pick up players in the offseason. One thing that will be starting next Wednesday when we launch Edmonton Sports Talk, edmontonsportstalk.com. We're looking forward to it. We're going to have live content every single day from 6 in the morning to 1 in the afternoon. You'll be able to join us, watch live on YouTube. We have a live audio stream, basically a 24/7 online sports radio station, which we're looking forward to launching next Wednesday. The oil stream will be moving to Monday, Wednesday, and Friday this upcoming season, as opposed to just the Wednesday and Friday before.
And a full hour.
The full hour of the oil stream, radio show style, live online at edmontonsportstalk.com every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We'll have two guys in the goalie with myself and former Oiler Joaquin Gage and Matt Cassian, who wears Oilers alumni stuff around, even though he's not. It always blows my mind when he's wearing the Oilers alumni stuff. I'm like, you didn't even play for the team.
He was wearing one yesterday.
Yeah,
He had a golf shirt at a golf
at the golf tournament last week. Cass is wearing this Oilers alumni stuff. They just give this stuff out to anybody who's local. I don't get it.
I guess so.
Yeah, we'll have two guys in the goalie Tuesdays and Thursdays from 12 until 1 as well. A full hour there as well.
How about this one? One more. Sneak it in.
Is that from somebody here?
I don't know. I don't
Anyway,
think so.
go
Anyway, comes in via the text line, 218-9999-780 in front of that, of course. Tommy, when is the Heritage jersey going to be revealed? Well, they're running out of time, that's for sure. I think in the next couple of weeks, I can say this, though. It looks awesome. It's different. It'll be a neat tie-in to Edmonton's hockey history, going back to the 50s. With a new twist to it, I would add. The pants and the gloves.
They'll sell 10,000 of them.
Yeah, they will. And they'll wear them a few times. But I think people are going to really like it and appreciate it. It's a completely different Oilers jersey. I saw the renderings. I saw an actual one. I really liked it. I think it's neat, and it's something that we haven't seen before that the Oilers will wear this year. Also, on the Heritage Classic, when it comes to the alumni game, I'm hearing more and more now it's going to be a younger roster, and right away I'm thinking it's going to be similar to a lot of those guys that played in that 2003 game that they're celebrating the 20-year anniversary.
Oh, really?
With some other guys.
So you're not going to be
in
sprinkling in. It's not just going to be the whole 80s team coming back.
No, a lot of those 80s guys have had hip replacements and don't want to skate anymore.
They'll come and support the event, but that'll be the case.
Yeah.
So anyway, next week when we dive into Oil Stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, an hour a day, Tommy will have pre- and post-game show, obviously, this upcoming season as well. But the rankings of importance will begin on Wednesday, September 6th as well. And that's always a good controversy.
I can't wait. I'm going to get destroyed for them.
Tommy's going to be ranking the 25 Edmonton Oilers players in their level of importance for the upcoming season. He usually really screws it up, and it leads to a lot of great text messages throughout the year. But we'll be doing that in sets of 5 over the next 5 episodes of the Oil Stream. So watch for that as well. A huge shout out to the folks here at Boston Pizza on 137th for having us out. Huge thanks to all of you guys.
Big thank you
for coming in here tonight as well. Make sure you stick around and come say hi. We can have a little bit of a chat. We'll have another episode of the Oil Stream coming up from our new studios, I guess, on Friday as we continue to get set.
So much happened at the new studios
We've
today.
got a lot going on.
The lighting is in. The cameras are set up.
There's a lot of fun stuff happening. So Edmonton Sports Talk, it'll be online. You'll be able to bookmark it straight from edmontonsportstalk.com. We have an app being developed that'll be available on both Apple and Android at some point in mid-September. So that'll be exciting as well. And we're happy to build the future of sports coverage here in Edmonton. Once again, thanks for coming out tonight, everybody. Hope to see you again. And that's going to do it for another episode of the Oil Stream.